You're funny.
1, 2, 3, come on!
Welcome to Business, Bets, and Buddies, the Hounds of Business Fantasy Football League. Join us each week throughout the football season as some of the world's top podcasters discover new businesses, make silly fantasy football bets amongst friends, and promote positivity around the globe. This show could not be possible without the support of Mike King and ESPN Richmond. A special thanks to our sponsors, Caregiving Worldwide, Brilliant Bee Media, and the Walking Tall movement.
Hey, and welcome to Business, Bets, and Buddies. Here we are, the Business and Bets and Buddies team. Soaring Profits has kind of taken over Business, Bets, and Buddies today because everyone is off doing amazing things in the world, which I'm sure you'll see in the future. We would like to thank our sponsors, Caregiving Worldwide, Brilliant Bee Media, which made that delightful clip you just watched, and the Walking Tall movement. Right now, we have Dr. Leyland with us from Level Up Academy. Dr. Leyland, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
What do I do? I'm a community builder. I'm part of the Hounds, just like you. And it looks like the Hounds of Business is the first one that's here, says I'm excited. Hello, Mike. So what I do, I'm a professor full-time. I also produce my own show, and I have my own podcast and live stream. So I live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. About almost 5,000 subscribers now in YouTube. Woot woot. And then I just counted, I'm at 75 nations and countries now. I'm still waiting for that last continent to drop for my audio. And then I do community building. So the coming up right now is the summit in October, where I have all of the people who are heart-centered, basically community leaders, gather in one place so we can serve you guys on whatever we're offering for $50 across the board. And you get this, for every time that you guys actually purchase those $50, we give 10% to the Lahaina victims fire in Hawaii.
Amazing. That's incredible. Look at that. Not only are you going to be able to learn some incredible stuff from Level Up Academy and the people that she serves, you'll also be helping out. That's amazing. I love that. So I'm going to take this time to introduce my friend and co-host, Patrick.
If you can see him.
From Soaring Profits.
That's
Patrick,
right.
tell us a little bit about what you do and who you are and why you're part of Business, Bets, and Buddies.
Well, if I can sneak around and sneak up on you and tell you all about us, but I'll be over here if you need me.
Yeah.
So again,
better looking when he's behind the sign. I'm just saying.
I have to get out here. I got to show off this mug. But I am the second part of the dynamic duo of I can get back over here now, of Soaring Profits, and this guy that's with me here, James, a real character, as you can see. But our whole thing is telling people stories, and we've over the last year or so, we have spent a little bit of time traveling around with these Hounds of Business and working with them, as well as getting to know them, but most importantly, working on telling people's individual stories of success. And that's what we do. We have our LinkedIn program, we have our YouTube programs, and now obviously we're fantastic football people, so we just win every week, it seems like. I don't know, a couple Canadians looking at football. I didn't know. Who would have thought, right? But that's what Soaring Profits is. We tell people stories. We work on getting that next level and bringing out the best in people and in their ability to tell their stories.
So make sure you check out both Soaring Profits and Level Up Academy. You will love it. It's going to be amazing. Both organizations are telling stories, helping people out, and you're going to learn a lot from them. But let's talk football, because that's why we're here. We're here about fantasy football. Now, I know tons about football. Everyone knows that. But no one wants to hear me talk. So, Pat, why don't you give us a little bit of rundown of why Soaring Profits is kicking everyone's butt this weekend?
Well, first of all, James, thank you for not taking up all the airtime on this. Right. I was really concerned that we were just going to get into a situation where we just have the talking head for 25 minutes, blow it all out of proportion.
Right.
Would we ever really get to any of the good stuff? But no. So first of all, folks, we've got a really exciting week in the NFL. Obviously, week 3, we've got a number of teams that are battling for positions. And this week, in our little world, in the world of Business, Bets, and Buddies, we had team walking tall take the overall lead. So he ended up with 163 points. Had a great run. I'm not gonna lie, it was coming right down to the wire over us. We ended up with a 155. It was really tight. We had absolutely no business being that high. We got really lucky. And failure, guys, Mr. Courier.
That was close.
We edged you out with basically a Hail Mary kick to get us over the line. I played football. I've played in championships. I'm telling you right now, my Sunday afternoon watching that game, the Monday night football, as that kick goes up, hits the upright and goes in. Amazing. I couldn't have done any better. But we have got a fantastic group here that are lined up. We ended up with an overall leaderboard of Morning Beard. Mr. Mark Reed from Japan is currently the 3-0. He's a tough guy to beat. Walking Tall with Chris currently in second. Us, Soaring Profits, in third overall. Team Sippy Sippy, Miss Sia, fantastic job. You are currently in fourth. Rock the Boat in fifth. The Hounds of the Hounds of Football. Always change it up a little bit. He currently tied for fifth. 40 going for fifth. Failure Guys fifth. Team Rocky fifth. And Level Up tied for fifth as well. Miss Leyland.
Look at that, all fifth. How are you feeling about your team there, Miss Leland? What can you tell us about your team?
I gotta say, out of all of you all, you guys don't watch my back. Mark watches my back. Okay? Mark literally said, CJ, you lost a wide receiver. I'm like, bro, he is broken. I had to take him out. And he's like, yeah, let's switch so you can have more power. But I don't know if that was strategic on his part. Like, switching.
So from my perspective, we are way too early in this year yet. I know for my team, we drafted Nick Chubb of the Cleveland Browns. He ended up with a really devastating injury last week. So we have been trying to figure out and pull every point we possibly can. If you think for 1 second that I would be reaching down, helping you up and picking your team members, I would be pushing your head underwater with the other hand. That would be the only way that I would be acceptable in doing this right now. It is too early. We are too young into this. We got to figure out where people land on this first.
Our problem is we definitely have to beat Mark Reed. Like, out of everybody, if we don't beat Mark Reed, I'm going to just be disappointed with myself.
My butt got handed on Rocky this week 3. Week 2, I was like, yes, I won. And week 3, I was like, oh man, I'm deflated again. That's fine. That's fine. I do have like, I don't know if you guys look at the fantasy football news. So if you have it says Giant says Barkley day to day. He has an ankle injury. So if you have Barkley, you just kind of watch that. Burrows, it says 0 to 3 outweighs risk of re-injury. There's a lot of AC joint. The quarterback from Raiders, Garoppolo, suffered concussion. So if you have him, drop him for now until, drop. I've been watching. It says Ryan, no interest in leaving CBC to quarterback for Jets. So I guess that's a talk. And then, of course, there's a torn ACL for the wide receiver Williams. And Chubb believed to have a torn only MCL. So all of these torn, if you guys have them, watch them and drop them for a hot minute.
Well, that's exactly it. Dr. Constance, you absolutely killed that with that, is that Nick Chubb was our first overall pick for the Soaring Profits boys here. When he goes down in a game with like a handful of plays into the first quarter and you see his leg completely rotate around the way that it should not go, I looked at it as we have to do some fancy dancing to try to even stay in this league at all. We tried to make some moves. We picked up actually Kareem Hunt, who is another running back in the Cleveland Browns. I don't know if anyone has got this yet, but I'm a big Cleveland Browns guy. I accept all of your condolences already. I have been 23 years in pain, suffering, and anguish going through this process. So I accept all of it. But I am a true Browns fan. I will load my team because those guys can still pack away some fantasy points. And this year, maybe even a win or two. It's been kind of impressive. What, Dr. Leland, what would your football team be? If you had to pick one, what's your football team?
Chargers. They're at San Diego. Like, win or lose. Raquel Boras is here. She's also Chargers. I'm a Charger fan. We have a lot of Padres and Chargers in my household. I got sweatshirt up to the wazoo, t-shirt, bobblehead, like you name it. My husband's little thing is for baseball, all baseball and football. It's Chargers all the way for football for sure. Now, let me back that up. Someone actually asked me, and I kind of dance around it. They're like, why is it called fantasy football, CJ? And I said, hold on. I think the reason is because when you play football, you have one team and one team only. So if you got a sucky team, you just suck all the way, right? Fantasy football, you can pick this team and that team for this team and this team. That's why it's called fantasy, because it's never going to happen. But that's what you're doing. Is that correct? Am I wrong?
That's a good point. But there's also other parts to it. Like, it's not about, so like the Cleveland Browns right now, if we were just using the Cleveland Browns to get touchdowns, and touchdowns were our points, we would be losing. We'd be losing bad. That's not the way it works, because the Cleveland Browns.
Can we just back up a little bit? Like, why did we just jump? Why could it have been like New England Patriots? Like, they haven't been so hot this year. Like, right. Richmond doesn't have a team, but like, who's around there? We got Carolina, maybe.
But that's not how it works. So we're doing well because the Cleveland Browns are getting yardage. And Pat, why don't you explain it a little bit more about how the fantasy football team works? If you're interested, you can jump on ESPN Fantasy Football League, start your own league. It's pretty amazing what we're working out right now.
Yeah, so we're running a PPR league, which through ESPN, they've been fantastic. And again, shout out to Mike King in Richmond, 106.1 that you folks are listening to. First of all, pal, thank you so much for what you're allowing us to do, and hopefully we're doing you justice, Pod. But our points are all designated off of every positive play or negative play that happens in the game. So we have a situation where a running back runs the ball down the field. He's getting 0.1 points per yard carried, right? Touchdowns are 6. If you fumble the ball, you're going to lose 2 points. Kickers hit a field goal, great, you're going to get 3. If you miss a field goal, you're going to get 2. Touchdowns from quarterbacks, it's yards run, yards passed. So what you do is you pick your team. And what I do is I look at this as from the middle of September until December-ish, I get to be a professional football manager. Everybody wanted to be that famous football quarterback, drops back in the pocket, hits it, win. Well, but I'm only 6'1", not 6'4", and I sure as shit don't run a 40 that fast. So this is my opportunity to dive into a little bit of my dream of what it was to be a young man and be a child. I love doing this, and there's a lot of guys that take this super seriously. Where my 155 points this week were probably child's play to so many of them.
And we also had some great bets, like side bets, just little fun things like some cigars. And I believe someone has to wear a shirt. I don't know who that is, but doesn't someone have to wear a shirt that of an opposing team? I believe that was college football, though. Pat, could you explain what's going on there?
100% believe. I can't remember her name. Was it Raquel? I think
something like that. Yeah.
And again, another little side joke, but Raquel, as a Texas A&M fan, a little side bet with Mark as a Bama fan. All of a sudden, you got these people wearing their old colors, the old alma mater colors. There's a bit of fun that goes along with it too. So we have a great time and talk about a great group of people. Maybe James, you could tell us a little about the Hounds and what they do and why they're impressive to put this all together.
So absolutely right. We got the Hounds of Business run by Mark Ashebrainer, a wonderful man who knows all there is to know about LinkedIn. But not only does he know about LinkedIn, he also knows how to bring together people. And he's brought us all together. He brought the Soaring Profits in, I believe, like that 6-7 months ago. And we've just met so many great people like Dr. Leyland below us and Raquel and Sia, who is the person that runs all this show usually. They're all amazing people. They're all Hounds. And we all work together. We all network. And part of that networking was Chris from Walking Tall and Mike from Hounds of Business and Mike King from ESPN Richmond all got together and came up with this idea, a great idea to kind of spread awareness about mental health, also help out to get us together, kind of joke around, have some fun, and promote ESPN football, like fantasy football, which is amazing. All that together is pretty incredible. Me, myself, I know so much about football that I'm going to go back to Pat. So
you just see Mark. He said he heard your threat, by the way.
I know, I did. He has heard it, and the gauntlet has been thrown down. And when we beat him, he has to donate money to Walking Tall.
There you go.
That at the end of the day, that's where it's going. We all want to donate to Walking Tall. I think they're a great organization, and I love them. And that was my personal bet to these people that whoever we beat, they have to give money to Walking Tall. So I am pretty excited about that. And I'm not afraid of Mark. He's all the way in Japan. What's he know about football?
Well, a little bit, because he's kicking the shit out of all of us in this league right now.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well.
Yeah,
No, Mark gets the benefit of the hours difference. He gets to jump in there at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. as the league ends and populates that new day. I think it's fantastic. He is all in it today, too, as well. He's got a bunch of he's got the comments rolling in. So Rocky, yes, will be wearing a Bama shirt and saying Roll Tide on video for perpetuity purposes only. And what, Miss Dr. Leyland, what would be, your school? What was their enemy? Just so in case we come up against each other next little while, maybe we could have a little side bet. Who is your enemy?
I don't even remember, quite honestly. I mean, everything that we do, we live in a bubble. Like, everybody else sucks. Even if we suck as Chargers, everybody else sucks. It doesn't matter. We party hard in San Diego when we win or lose. It doesn't matter. Everyone gets drunk downtown. They go nuts. They go crazy. But between Chargers and Raiders, that's the hard part. Raiders take it to the next level and get violent on you. So you just stay up. They literally physically go violent on you. So when you see a Raider fan, you're like, bye. Chargers were like, okay, whatever. But that's really here in San Diego, in California, period, is Chargers and the Raiders. Rocky actually will know that because she's also here in San Diego. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit for us. Like, I know, like, for us in Canada, football is just such a smaller scale thing. We have the Canadian Football League, which, I couldn't.
I don't even think we tailgate. Do we tailgate?
Well, and that's the problem is, for 5 months of the year, it's pretty blustery out there. It's not the greatest weather. Now, mind you, right now, we are going through some absolutely beautiful weather. For all of you Americans that think, we are in igloos most of the time, and we are trying to fight off polar bears about 6 months of the year. So at any point, if you hear heavy breathing coming, you tuck and run. You learn where to hide your long sticks.
It's more of a grunt, like more of a breathing grunt. Just so you know.
Hockey? Isn't hockey your thing in Canada?
Hockey is big, and I'm going to say that we've had some riots because of teams have lost. So hockey is a very big Canadian thing, and we take it very seriously, kind of like you were just saying. When some of our hockey teams lose, we kind of, like, Canadians, that's when we get angry. We're nice most of the time, but when our hockey team lose, they kind of take over the city and they don't like it. It's not the greatest time.
Yeah, we've had a few. We've had Vancouver after, what was that, 2010, something like that, when they lost in the finals. That was like burned down half the city. But that's what's crazy. Vancouver hit.
And if Toronto ever wins, like, Toronto loses so often, we don't riot. But if Toronto ever wins, it will be the hugest party you'll ever see.
We don't have to worry about that. No fear there, folks. Buy your downtown Toronto homes. You're safe, folks.
You're going to be fine forever. Yeah. Montreal, on the other hand,
I think people should bet who's going to actually win at the very end. Like Pat said, we're still new, right? The fantasy thing is still new. We're only on week 3. We have 16 or 14 weeks or something like that.
14 weeks. And that's perfect segue into, next week. I want to go over who people are facing. So perfect segue. Miss Team Level Up. You are taking on, drum roll, please, us. You're going down. So you might want to get your stuff in line already. Remember, I was saying about the hand up, one on the head.
We're not helping.
I'm not a sore loser though. That's the thing. I party like, hey, I lost. Okay, like I don't care. Let's go party. Like it doesn't matter.
I love it.
I'm not a sore loser because what I see is just I like to have fun, and really the sore loser just loses more. So I party where the winner is, and let's go.
Ma'am,
we probably should lay down a bet though.
Huh? What should we bet?
Well, I think maybe this summit that you've got coming up right now, maybe some tickets to that summit would be a good little bet.
Ooh.
What do we get?
Tell us a little bit about that again.
Yeah. I could give you a coupon. I have a lot of giveaways. I haven't put in there yet, but I have a ton of giveaway. We're talking probably almost maybe $40,000 all in total in this summit, because maybe even more, because one of our guy who does like John Maxwell, it's like $15,000 or $20,000 a class. He's giving us a free replay for $50.
Perfect.
How to become a best-selling author for $2,000 worth for $50, like for real nice, right? My class, I literally am putting it for $50 and it's 500 usually. Yeah. So there's a lot of giveaways on this thing. And then, but we do have, it's not Tinder, okay? It's speed networking. But you can drink, you can chill chat. There's no agenda. October 21st. Literally, it could be on your PJ, no brushing teeth. No one can smell your teeth. Sia's welcome to anyway. She has to take a bath. Ooh, she's not welcome.
That was a subtle dig. DJ, that was subtle.
Sia's listening, so be careful.
Yeah. We are coming in. So sponsors and speakers are free. I might get free giveaway tickets to come in just to speed network for 2 hours, literally for every 15 minutes to get to know your community. We see them here in comments. We see them on WhatsApp, but you really didn't have a chance to do coffee chats. Right. This is it. It's speed networking, guys. Bring your elevator pitches. What do? Let's go. You got 50 seconds. It'll be fun. Watch.
I love it.
And how do they find out about it? How are they going to locate
It's going to be on my profile. And then there's 30 people. They're going to be posting them. Mike, Sia, Raquel. Sia is actually out right now. We know where they're at, right? They're not active right now for this. However, I have 27 other people that are going to be active, slowly putting it in there because they have their own affiliate links. You will see them everywhere. There's 30 of them, but if you go to Level Up Academy's business page and on my featured, it will be there for the registration. It's free. The summit is free. You can literally get free information for that first 1 hour. And then the rest of the hour, we have Zoom breakouts. So most summits, you sit there, you kind of just listen to them, right? No, for 1 hour, you'll see them. And then we'll be on Zoom breakout. So you can get to meet all of these nice people and what they offer for you right there.
Excellent. And Soaring Profits, Pat, what do you got going on? You have anything new? Anything coming up in the works?
Well, sir, we, as the dynamic duo that we are, we've always got something going in the kitchen. And, we taking on events like this and growing a little bit of our network. And, this is where there you go. This is where I'm going to take the shameless plug of please like, subscribe, and share. If you haven't already followed with what we're doing here with Business Bets and Buddies on our Soaring Profits, YouTube is where we're trying to grow and getting traction. So Soaring Profits, spelled like as in your prophetic, PROPHETS, Soaring Profits. We're on all the media stuff too. Instagram, we're on TikTok. We do some cool stuff. But one of the big things that's coming out right now is that I'm focusing on a bit of a financial wellness and financial fitness podcast and show. And what we're doing is kind of some real high level stuff. This isn't like put your money in your piggy bank and put it under your mattress. This is once you're developing a bit of a routine and are saving your regiment, where to be putting your money, how to set up your accounts and be moving forward and watching what's happening in the market. This is the stuff that the big guys do. And if you can understand it and you can dive into it at a little bit higher level, which there's always something to be learning from, there's real opportunities there. So I don't sell anything. I don't pitch anything. My whole thing is about passing on knowledge in this space. And again, I'm not your financial planner. So when you hear and you're listening to what I'm talking about, it's an opportunity to dive deeper into what you're learning. And we do that and we pair it with people's stories. We love working with people and getting them to dive in and tell their piece about what's life all about. And James, send us out of here, pal.
Guys, thank you so much. Dr. Leyland, always a pleasure. The stuff that you do always impresses me. I think you have like 5 doctorates or something, and you're just so smart. I love it. Please do check her out. What she's doing is pretty incredible. This summit coming up is very exciting. The Soaring Profit Boys might even be involved a little bit. Please do check out the Soaring Profits. We do tell those stories that about unsung heroes changing the world. We have one coming up this Thursday night at 9:00. Pat's show that he's talking about financial fitness will be Tuesdays. And CJ, if you're out there listening, I hope I did this show justice. Mike from the Hounds of Business, I love you. Chris Walking Tall, and of course, Tracy Lamb from Caregiving Network, and Mike King from the ESPN Richmond. Thank you all for joining us. Have a great day.
This show would not be possible without the support of Mike King and ESPN Radio. A special thanks to our sponsors, Caregiving Worldwide at caregivingworldwide.com, Brilliant Beam Media at brilliantbeammedia.com, and the Walking Tall Movement at walkingtallmovement.com. Walk tall.